Yeah, welcome back to the M365 FM podcast, where we explore Microsoft 365, AI, Copilot, digital transformation, and the people shaping the future of work. Today's guest believes something many organizations still struggle to understand. Digital transformation isn't about deploying technology, it's about changing how people work. Joining us today is Femke Cornelissen, Chief Technology Transformation Officer at Wortell, one of Netherlands' leading Microsoft partners. I have read the second influential woman in tech.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you so much. Yeah, that's true.
yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I think every day Finke works with organizations looking to move beyond simple rolling out Microsoft 65 or Copilot. Instead, she helps them redesign work itself, aligning people, leadership, culture, and technology to the creating listing transformation. Today, we'll explore AI adoption, Microsoft Copilot, change management, organization behavior, leadership, and why successful transformation start with people, not platforms. Yeah, Finke, welcome to the NC65 FM podcast.
thank you so much. And sorry for disrupting in the beginning, but yeah, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here, and thanks for the invite. And well, what an introduction! It was a long introduction.
Yeah, you have done so much. So,
True.
uh, can you tell us, about your journey, how become the second influential woman in tech, and especially what does the Microsoft ecosystem to do with it?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. Well, I really like sharing knowledge. I think the same as you, but and a lot of people in the community we like to share knowledge around M365 and everything what's new, but also what we're learning from building and creating. So I am now 12 years in the Microsoft space. I started as a marketeer in a tech company, so a really different part. Really interesting to start in marketing and then actually doing different kind of roles from sales to also some technical roles as a SharePoint consultant, but also migration consultant. I did some development as well. So it's interesting to look in the kitchen in different areas in a tech company. But what I really like the most is what have I learned? And when I'm talking a lot with different kind of customers, it always was uh, things that I have seen, and more customers had the same questions, and then I started to create content around it. I need to say in the beginning it was really scared doing that because I always think I'm the only one who are going to read it. And I need to say in the beginning, it was the only one who read it was sometimes myself. But by starting creating, doing even more, sharing my knowledge, sharing what I think about some solutions and why I think it's good, but also why it's not good. Yeah, it grows really fast. And now, yeah, years later, I think almost like 3 or 4 years later, before I really started with doing that kind of things, it's exploding, and that's really nice because I think it's really good that you are not based in one area, that you have seen a lot of things, learned from a lot of different kind of backgrounds that I had, not only in tech, but also as a photographer, my own business years before that. And that you have a different kind of view than a lot of people normally see in organizations. So it's nice, and I think that everything coming together, like storytelling, making pictures around it, but also sharing what I'm seeing, what I see in the market, and what is actually changing in the market right now. And well, I like to zoom in, but also like to zoom out, and I think that's not well. I think a lot of people try to do it, but it's not always that everyone can do and seeing it. So yeah, I think that's my passion.
Yeah, I see also you're often on conferences, on podcasts, on live streams, on and you do a lot of content creation, and you also be the chief transformation officer at Wortell. So how does uh do the do your normally day looks like or is it
Mm,
more than
interesting.
24 hours?
Yeah, well, my day looks like well, I wake up at 8 that's so funny joke. My day looks like oh, I think a lot of people were thinking, that I, absolutely what you say, like, going to conferences, speak a lot, and creating a lot of content on LinkedIn, but, well, that's more a hobby, I would say. Of course, I get the support from the company that I work for, that they, support me to do that, but, it's a hobby and it's not my actually real job. I think. Sometimes I get some time for it, especially like now we're doing this podcast. But yeah, my real day looks like they're really different. So I am, if the people don't know, yes, chief transformation officer at Wortell, and that means that I am transforming our own organization. So what we're doing is uh, as every organization, we're focusing on AI and what is the thing that we're seeing now in our organization. So a lot of people exploring AI and using AI in different kind of ways, even in a technology company. But my role is what is the strategy of the organization and how can we translate strategy in the different kind of AI initiative that we have, and are we doing the right things at the right moment? Because now with AI we can solve everything we think, and we think everything have priority. So doing the right things with the right people, making the best results, that's my role.
Yeah, so you are not purely in technology in your role, you are also as the organizational transformation. Um,
Yeah. So I'm going to build anything by myself at the moment. So that's not what I'm doing. I'm having a team who are doing communication, adoption, but as well creating the agents or supporting people to create by themselves. But I'm responsible for the ROI.
mm, and when you look a little bit back, what experience shaped your leadership style?
Um, I really like that people are like being really innovative by themselves, and I also like that people are well, people in different kind of teams, they have the knowledge. I can say to you, okay, you need to do this on this way, and your process is changing, and this is the way you need to work now. But it's way better to have people around you who have the actually really knowledge about that area. So it's good to let them be the one who are responsible for the agents that we create, but also responsible for the process that we are redesigning, and that they are being a part of that. So it's interesting, as you think about a leadership style, it's interesting to show them what we want to go, but let them think how we can solve that and how we come there, and not saying, okay, from day one, this is what we built, and now is this the new way of working? I don't think that will work. And actually, we see now. I say to a lot of people, we're living in a sort of popcorn machine. Everything changing all the time, and what we build today, tomorrow can be like way different because there are new solutions out or things that happening that we are building already that Microsoft brings now as a standard or brings as a out of the box agent or something like that. So we're living in a world that we need to understand that all the AI tools are changing, the LLM changing, the skills that we make need to change, the but as well the solutions that we build, that everyone is building the same kind of solution. So the other thing is as well, we need to think about who are we as an organization. What do we think that is really is interesting, is that we are as an organization, what is our strategy around it, and how can AI add on
Mhm,
helping to
mhm.
get that done.
Yeah. Uh, when I look, so many companies have invested millions in Microsoft 65 and the AI, and yeah, they yeah, I think they have a little bit struggle to realize the business value. Uh,
One other says, yeah.
eh, why so many transformation projects fail from your perspective?
Yeah, that's really interesting. I think because everyone is creating their own way of working. So if you don't have any strategy, No one absolutely know what you are doing. And as I said, I think everyone can create their own way of working, like from personal perspective. So you can do it in your Copilot or in your cowork or even maybe in Claude. I don't know what you're using, but everyone is creating their own personal productivity that not maybe not need to be a personal productivity thing. It needs to be, for example, like a team way of working. So you need to create an agent for it in, for example, Copilot Studio or in Foundry. So why you don't have business value is because everyone is creating their own way. You don't have a synergy in your organization, in your way of working. So what you want is you want to have like a data platform with the right data on it that people can build on the same data platform, and that there is synergy from what these people is doing and these people that is actually matching with each other and can come back with feedback and make your company even better on the other way around, or
Mhm.
all the people that are there. So what you're seeing is, first of all, you had a process with a lot of people there, but now you're going to see that AI is evolving in that, and everyone is doing that by themselves. You need to redesign your organization, and that's not easy. Sometimes it's easier to create a new organization and build it from scratch than redesigning an organization with people in it who know really good how it needs to be. I think it's well, I think that that's the best way that they do it, and need to be inspired about what are the possibilities from AI as well.
And how n yeah, you say they have the different ways to work, all the people, but, how can you put this in a strategy that creates the value? What's your tips here?
Yeah, from my perspective, it's always start with the CEO who said, okay, this is the way to go. This is important for our organization. This is where we're going to. And then you need to think about an AI council or an AI team that says, okay, when we have from the CEO, this is the way to go. What are the initiatives that or what are the teams that we need to focusing right now to get there? So you put the CTO, the CHRO, Chief Transformation Officer, and the CEO together in one room, and you have like every week a discussion about what is the best solution to each team, and how do you get the best opportunities there. Then you have a transformation team that can be a team that you an actual, not really an actual team, but you can have like a virtual team that you create there. But people who are actually already in a job, who say, okay, you're helping with the adoption, with the communication, you helps with building, you are helping with the different kind of projects that we want to launch, and you give people their responsibilities there as well. You can think about having in every team that you have that you make one person responsible as well for the transformation, because well, it's really good to have people there. You cannot have do anything everything at the same time, so it's good to have more people in everything that are there as well responsible for picking up the right opportunities that aligning with the strategy that you have as an organization. um, and your whole organization need to know what the strategy is, and we can say that everyone knows that, but I can give you on a paper that is the the thing that most of the organization don't really well, from leadership perspective they know, but if you yeah, when you have everything aligned there, then you're going to start with training and adoption and saying, okay, this is how you can build your own agents, but this is also the policy that we have as an organization, and this is how we see this from security wise. And then you're also going to see that people are going to change in their role, and that's where the role is really important, because you get people who are going to be the owner of the agents, from not only the agents that they need to make it even better and get better responses, but also that the data is always up to date. And a lot of people forgetting that part. So they're creating an agent just for themselves, but it's probably for the team, creating their own network. And the role is actually not changing because, well, they make something and it changes with the organization, and then it's okay. Oh, we can all use it, but well, that we need to update the data to get better results. No one is doing that, so it's, I think, a really interesting way to think about from strategy to have a team say, okay, this is the first few use cases that we need to pick, to having a transformation team who helping with adoption and creating everything, but also get your team on board from the whole organization side. And success stories. It's also need to be have some success stories to get other people involved. And one of the things that I have learned, so I want to talk about it. One of the things that I have learned is that everyone wants to create something and want to do something. So how can you keep your people really still creating, being innovative? Don't stop
Yeah.
because you're saying, okay, it needs to be come from the upside. You also have to from downside to up, uh, that people still can create things, and that it's not stopping and lacking and say, okay, I don't know if I'm still can make my own agents. So yeah, good policies around it. Everyone knows where it stands, who is responsible, and even creating an organogram with agents and people, so make it really visible. And I need to say I'm not that far yet, but we are exploring that now.
Yeah. Has AI fundamentally changed change management, uh, from your
Mm,
perspective? What you see?
yes. Um, Change management is absolutely needed, and I think not a it's a culture thing. I think it's more a culture thing than it's technology. So the culture thing is that that's the mindset need to change. And the mindset is the process that people understand that we can add on everything that we want to do. But if we really have real value, and then we are back why or we don't get any value, is that you need to redesign your organization. It absolutely needs. If you want to get at want to stay in front, you need to redesign.
Interesting. Um, can what or yeah, what think you why do employees resist new technology?
Well, I think a lot of people don't know what you can do and also are scared, I
Mm,
think, that it will take over their job or that everything will change or that, well, of course, everything will change. But I think a lot of people don't actually know what's happening with their own role. So it's good to involve them and let them see what it actually do for them, instead of, okay, this is your role is going to is going away and well, the agents take over. I don't believe that. I think we're going to create even more roles,
mm,
and if people really click in and see, okay, but this is now that I don't have to do anymore with a lot of administrative tasks, something like that, but I can even give more advice at our customers, for example, and being more present when I'm there, then people will see it.
mm, yeah, interesting. What did you think? What's the biggest culture by year we have actually in companies?
The culture, what do you say? Sorry.
The culture barriers, the biggest.
Areas.
Uh,
Yeah. Now I think what we see at customers as well is I think also leadership is changing.
mm,
It's an interesting to think about that. For example, you always have on Friday doing a report and giving updates and saying how it's going in the organization. You have middle management who are saying to the people how they were reporting as well. So a lot of things on the reporting side, but as well that people need to learn that they have their people and their agents that they need to work together, and that is things are changing from that perspective. That's a culture barrier. I think a lot of people don't understand that we need to um, that your quality and the people are even more important, and that the task and all that kind of ways will change with in the right way with the agents there.
mm, mhm. Um, oh, I think a little bit. Um, when we have all these, yeah, I say the leaders, they have self change their rules, but they also have the job to build trust around the AI. How
Yes.
should leader yeah, do this, how they can build trust.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think when you want to build trust, you need to share where you want to go as an organization, but also ask people to think with them. So ask them how to solve it. What are the opportunities that we have with AI? Um, and trust is as well. I think when people are using AI, they need to understand why am I using in this system? Is it secure? Uh, well, all that kind of thing. So that I think that's really important. Um, but I think you need to make like a framework for the
Mm.
organization. So a framework in this is, for example, personal productivity. This is what you can do, and this is the standards of our organization. Versus what are you doing with our data? Eh? Be clear about it. What kind of data you can share, and what kind of AI tool. I mean, what is the thing that you put open and what is the thing not? The people have no idea, right? We're still saying everyone would understand it, but it's not. Everyone is doing their own way. If you close it, people will find a way in other AI tools because they think, well, I can buy it by myself. Buy. So how can you build trust? Is be clear in what you want, what you don't want, and what is the right way to use for your organization, but also business productivity or personal productivity, I would say.
Mhm.
Team team AI, when you're talking more about, for example, Copilot Studio, building your agents for your team, but also enterprise AI. You can think about the solutions that you want to sell to your customers, or AI solutions that you are building, or the gold mine of your gold that you say, okay, this is something that we want to create from enterprise perspective. And there is no owner there, but well, this is something that we're building by yourself, and you can put out collecting or get your information out of it for this kind of people. So it's interesting to yeah to think about that give clear instructions, and I think that will help.
So you think you have the people give clear instructions. So what did you think about let yeah the people do experimentation with AI?
I think that's good. I think as well everyone needs to experiment to understand what it can be. So, but you need to know in what kind of tool,
Mm,
and as well what is allowed and what is not allowed. Um, so I think uh, well, let's say like Copilot versus Cowork.
mm,
Cowork right now at the moment is pay as you go. And we all know that. So if you go to experiment in Cowork, you will get the bill.
mm,
So you can also create a skill or learning in Copilot to create the right skill. For example, in Cowork. So you going to build it, you're going to create it, you're going to talk with Copilot. It doesn't cost you any cost anymore. And then you create it with your cowork. So everything you use cowork, that you have the right skill and that your cost is not that high instead of experimenting, making better. So we really need to learn where we need to do that. For example, as well with creating, when I'm talking about personal productivity, when we're creating, for example, PowerPoints, yeah, it's really easy to say to cowork, this is my transcript, create a PowerPoint. Well,
mm,
that cost you $25 or $30. I don't know, actually, something just how big it is and how many data you put in. But you also can think about I can upload it in my PowerPoints, in
mm,
my upload the transcripts and say create an agent, then it costs you nothing.
mm,
So it's a way of working by learning where do your experiments, but also be yeah, be open-minded in what are the opportunities, and there is like adoption a real something yeah, real valuable. And I think culture also is something that need to be involved there, right? Because yeah, if you get the opportunity to experiment, be an experimental organization, I think that will help you. You
mm,
can learn and you can fall, and you can learn from the mistakes you make.
mm. And when what did you think? How does the future of workplace look like?
Yeah. Oh, I think all the solutions that we are building now at the moment with each other, that everyone can build that, and not everything will have their solutions one day. So everything that we think that we are unique now, probably in the upcoming years, no one is there really unique. But it's a time now. And I think the difference will be um, really thinking about who you are as an organization and being your strengths in there so that you make the difference with the people who are there, and actually the strategy that you have around AI, and not only doing things faster ways but also uh, who are you as a brand, and what is the difference between other companies who's building the same solutions. And also, I think we're going to talk more. We're talking now in this podcast, but I'm also thinking we're going to talk more through our systems, better prompts, more workflows, creating, well, I think, and it's already there, we are building it by yourself. But when I have a meeting with you, I also want to have 20 through three different kind of workflows behind it, because the system need to work for me and I don't need to wait for the next steps. Well, when I have a transcript and I have a Teams meeting, I want the next step is that there is an offer for our customer. And do I really need to make that offer, or can I see in the transcript already that the offer is about Copilot and co-work with so many users, and there are so many adoption, and this is the organization, and these are the people are involved in the customer who needs to decide on it. So that your AI is going to make that as well for you in workflow. So I think the future will be how can you really make impact by creating a new process instead of creating new agents on top of your process that you have now. And the real winners will be the people who did the first one, I think.
Yeah, we have a lot of new things. I think one of this is the agent to agent collaboration, communication. Uh,
Yeah.
uh, how will AI change collaboration and communication in companies?
Yeah. Interesting. A lot, I think. So we're talking now about how can we change our processes, but also we need to think about how can we change our way of communication with each other. And I always need to think about the way that we going from the server to SharePoint or working with Teams, and we need to start it with creating our Teams calls. And well, I don't want to go to the office, or I just want to go to the office, and all the things there. We need to have new. We need to understand that we have a new way of working created there. And the same will happen now. We have AI only involved in that, and we need to make the right decisions when AI is doing something. So one of the things, for example, is meetings. When you have a meeting, you want to have something that already prepared in front of. You want to have send it to all the people where you're going to talk about. This is not something that you need to do by a human. This is what AI can do. It also gives you an agenda. It also gives you some information how long that it takes. It gives you an well with a facilitator agent. It gives you also some information about what I already talked about. You can give you a note, notes afterwards, but also a heads up what you need to do in the future. So I think well the next step is more in, do we still need to have all this kind of meetings, or can already AI decide in some of this? Do we still need to be part as a human? And well, which kind of decisions really need to be taken by us?
Yeah, uh, I think a little bit. What I find really interesting, I think, my coffee machine, it has now a button. It's a AI button. I don't know what it's really does. Uh, yeah, it's that labeled AI inside. Cool. Um, um,
You didn't test it yet.
yeah, I have clicked the button, but I don't know what's different to before. Oh, I'm not a barista, but I think for a barista, there's not the biggest change in what
Well,
AI do, but I think it's the biggest actually it's for knowledge work. How did you think knowledge work will transform?
Well, fun thing when you're talking about barista, I know some people who are making applications about how many coffee they drink at a day and if they, how many, coffee beans
So the
will cost.
fatty.
So, yeah, something of that you can think about. I don't know, it's actually that. Or then you have a ring with all your sleep data, and those you can analyze how many. Well, that's the first thing I need to think about when you have an AI and button on your coffee machine. But the question was knowledge work. Yeah, I think everything around knowledge work will change really, really, really fast. I think I'm already doing at the moment. But yeah, think about an AI who different kind of AIs, but you need to really think about what are the things that I doing on the repeats and how can I be what what do I want to be in the future? How can AI help me to get there? And what are the things that I actually doesn't have to do anymore? And that you can think about personal perspective, personal productivity. And I think that's a lot of the things that a knowledge worker is doing, but also working together with your team and what are your KPIs in your organization and how can you come there? Yeah, I think knowledge worker will change enormously, and the things that I would see in the future is that we're going to see even more connecting the dots there. So you have your CRM data, you can already use it. Like I don't go to a dynamic system anymore. I ask the question, how many opportunities are there this customer, and give me an advice to hand what are the next up the talking points that I need to talk with. But also you can think about more data coming together, for example, from your marketing perspective or so I think the whole way of working will change and you get even more analyzing data, getting their data available, getting more the opportunity that AI is analyzing it for you. But I think we as a human need to learn how to do it well and don't always ask the questions that we analyze this. Well, we really need to learn how to get the best results and creating good skills for it.
Yeah, skills is a good topic. You are in the
Mm.
leadership position. What skills do modern leaders need, and what will you say which becomes obsolete?
Yeah, well, one of the things that I would say, and I think everyone will recognize this, everyone has a lot of good ideas, but now with AI, everyone has even more good ideas because everything that they put in an AI system, they get things back that you think about, oh, wow, this is a good idea, and this is my idea, for example. So I think first of all, I get a PowerPoint presentation once a week, and someone needs to work like 40 hours to get a really nice PowerPoint presentation and send me that over and told me the story why this is a good idea. And now I get like sometimes 10 PowerPoint presentations in the same style with the same idea, with a different, well, everyone can do even more and have good ideas because of the AI system. So I think that we work in. So I think the thing that we need to learn is how can we what is the intention of the things behind it that people are creating? Why are they doing it? So we need to have the skills and really have the communication, asking more about the use cases,
Mm,
not only giving a licensing, but asking about the users. Why are we doing it? Why is this helping us? Why are you creating this PowerPoint? What is the intention behind it? So even more the communication skills will be more important, I think. And because everyone has so many ideas, how can you say to other people that they are really good ideas?
mm,
But this is all something what someone is working on. So I think the roles and the responsibilities over the teams will be more need to be clear because everyone can create everything. And it could be, for example, that your finance department have a good idea for your sales department, and then
mm,
even the way around because they have now the ability to create all kind of ideas that they think
mm.
they need to help with.
Yeah, I think also, what actually happened, like the EU AI Act, there's a lot of stuff
Yeah.
what happened, but there, especially for leadership, it's they become liability for the AI, so they're personally
Yeah.
can be. So, how do you think uh, or leadership can be, yeah, getting more secure here? What have they to do? Is it, I don't know, have a better IT guys, have a
Mhm.
SOC team, or
Well, yeah, interesting is that because, well, you're talking about AI acts, UA AI acts, and I think that's really important. But you also need to think about what is the best data in my organization and what do we need to um d- need to be yeah, need to have there is that no one can touch or no one can do something with. Uh, what are the things that we can actually build on? But as well, I think again the clear instructions need to be there. Um, yeah, let me think. You say what is more thing that leadership need to think about? Um, I think it's good to have not only. I think leadership need to know what are the new things, where we stand, what is the uh, where's the market heating on, and not only IT department. This is I think we see AI as an thing that it's need to be in the IT departments and someone is responsible from IT. It's not anymore. It's you need to have more people involved in the different kind of teams who are responsible there, but also getting in a position that they can say this is what we need and this is in a responsible way.
Mhm.
Um, so putting on, for example, Anthropic in MD5 Copilots, yeah, you need to understand why, and you need to understand what is happening with the LLM um, or using a cloud somewhere. Or well, I think everyone needs to learn it and also need to know what are the consequences around it.
Yeah. We have on, I think we start with quality data, and AI creates
Yeah.
so much quantity, um, and how and they and all can build now their own agents, their own
Yeah.
uh, citizen development stuff, and how, yeah, I don't know, how will you gather all this? How can we go there, as a, yeah, be safe or be careful
Yeah.
with this topic?
Yeah, I think you need to make it visible. So, for example, when we're talking about our organization that I work for, we have 1,200 agents there, and we have 500 people who are working there. So we have a lot of agents, if you say instead of like human. And I think there are a lot of agents who have no owner and no one who is responsible for. So yeah, you will see if people are creating agents and being curious, it's fine that they people are doing that, but you also need to have a policy. For example, if they have their first day of working, you want to let them create an agent because they're learning from it, but also the policy that you need to delete it. Um, and the other way is like, for example, if we're using Copilots in meetings, yeah, what you see is that people have meeting transcripts, for example, and then after 30 days, they're deleting all the recordings because your data are exploring. And yeah, people say, okay, we can delete it after 30 days. But what if your Copilot doesn't work anymore with that data? And you always want to have the data because you building on that. So it's all with making appointments with your team in how your way of working. We're coming back in. This is what we want. This is what we want to achieve. This is where we store our recordings or our data, so our co-work co-pilot can still work with it. Um, and yeah, I think a lot of people are maybe selfish. That's it, because they are doing everything by themselves, creating something for themselves. But if you can look at the broader perspective as an organization, then I think then you win. Yeah.
N I think, uh, a lot of teams build their agent-to-agent systems, but, they're, yeah, I think marketing and sales, also they
Yeah.
have communicate. Did you think this is be a the future? Uh, they can bring only talk that AI talk, to another here, and how can we be safe that's not, I don't know, that's not become bias in all the systems? How did
Yeah.
you handle it?
Well, bias is something that it is also something from the owner of the agents. So you need to, well, I think it's when I'm a lot of talk about a solution in our organization. I say this is something that I really like, and this is something that our customers all need that. Then you will see that in every output, it will give bias that the customer need that solution. So this is also something that we need to learn from a human perspective, that you need to create a new chat or a new agent and build it on from scratch with the right documents. And this is actually really why you need to create your new agents and not always go to your Copilot or your Cowork, because it has bias, and it has also have different. ChatGPT and Claude have the same, because well, you do something and you ask it questions that you know that they know that you want that answer, like, and they will give it to you. So that's bias. So also clear prompts saying, okay, you are a marketeer, or you are an influencer, or you are a sales director, or you are a CEO. What would you do? And you have no knowledge around this. And that little thing's already helping, but also having the right data included, and say start from the beginning and don't look at my profile, who I am now and what I already sent to you. It make a really difference than not. So bias is something that yeah, that is something that you as a human probably are responsible for to check.
And what did you think? Which role plays transparency?
Transparency, which role? Um well, I think transparency. Yeah, it's interesting to think about transparency in what is AI using, what kind of data it use from the web or from your organization, but also transparency in what you're building in your organization and where you want to go to in the future. um, Only when you are transparent, people will align and have an idea. Okay, this is what I also want to build, and this is what I helping our organization with. So, transparency in everything is really needed. But I think we not always know everything, because the solutions go so fast that we also searching for things from Microsoft perspective. For example, what is this? Why is it open? Why is it closed? What will affect? What is the LLM out there? What are they doing with the data? So I think there's a role for a partner to helping with the cost, helping with the things that around data governance and data security, and also what is doing with all the data that we put in our agents. So yeah, transparency is needed, but I think there's also a role for a partner to helping in that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Can you a little bit tell how did you personally use um, Copilot in your daily work?
Yeah. Oh, so I share my day today. So I had, I think, 8 different meetings today. So
Okay.
that's my thing that happened. Um, so all the transcript out of that I used and say, okay, give me my personal task that I need to do later on and put it in my agenda for the upcoming week. And also I go on a vacation. So some of the things I know that is something that you need to think about. Okay, when can I do it? So I also asked what is the priority? Put it in order of a priority, put it in my agenda. So I did it with cowork. So my whole full agenda is full for in front of my vacation, but also after my vacation, because it doesn't have any priority at the moment. So that's one of the things that I use a lot. Another thing is, and I always love to share that practices that this one is like. I was in Barcelona a few weeks ago, and I was there with a few customers of us. I was there a half day, so I wasn't long. I did a presentation with Microsoft at an event, and then I had like a half hour with 5 customers. So I put facilitator agent on, and I asked different kind of questions. So, what do you think about this event? What are your next steps that you're going to do? And what do you think about the organization that I work for? Three questions, five customers. On my way back to the airport, I asked Copilot, okay, I want to have an email for our C level. Tell them what happens on these events. There it was with all the insights. After I ask, make an email for all the account managers of that customers and tell them what are the next steps, because I know now what are the next steps after this event. And I send an email to our marketing and make a blog post around it, what they think about Wortell, why they like to work with Wortell, but also what are the next steps that people really need to know about and what happens in the event space where I was. I made some pictures with the customers. So I have, yeah, so the things that I use is how can I make something small as like 5 minutes call with a customer? How can we create a lot of noise, and not only noise but also impacts on the next step? And I do that a lot with every podcast that I make, with every content that I make. It's a search for even more, and making new content around this, and also inform my colleagues.
Mm. Um, when we stay at Copilot, there are so many tools like Copilot Studio, Copilot inside M365.
Yeah.
And we also have also the other stuff like AI Factory. But what did you use most and why?
Yeah, the easiest way is Copilot or Cowork, and of course I've made a few of my few agents there. Um, Nora is one of my agents, and Eva is one of my agents. So I make human names around it for as well analyzing and creating tasks and that kind of things. Um, but yeah, what do you use most? Yeah, I need to say I don't use one thing most. It's my start point for the whole day. So I never ever going anymore in my inbox on my email. I start point is Copilot. Um, and I do the same with creating a PowerPoint. I most of the time, okay, I can do that from PowerPoint itself, but I also can start from Copilot itself. So I think for me, it's the other way around. It's not what are you using a lot, but it's my, yeah, I say UI for AI. It's really there. It's my reference point to go to the different kind of agents that are in my M365 Copilot versus, um, yeah, I wanna answer all my emails are there in concept, put it on there, or make let me coach, for example. I also do a lot about my role, and the people actually did I really do the right things? Well,
Mm,
I do now a podcast with you, for example. Is that something that is right for my role? And then I can think about, okay, will I do it next week again, or not, or do I need to focusing on other things? So it's also really good in not only your task, but also in coaching and helping you grow in your position.
yeah. Um, and when we think about adaption by Copilot, there we have, I think, from Microsoft two programs. I think they have really the same name, but yeah, there one is the Adaption Framework Champion,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the other the Copilot Champions. So, what did you think about these programs?
Well, I think it's nice that there is a program and that you can learn from it, and it's good to have a framework somewhere. But I think what we said already, it's like a popcorn machine that we're in, and what we see a lot is that we are thinking about a way of an ad car or something like that. It's awareness, desire, knowledge, stability, and reinforcement. And I still believe that's really good, but uh, the knowledge is keep popping up every day, so it's don't stops anymore. So I think adoption needs to be something that you need to invest in every day, and it's not something that stops. And a lot of this kind of things are something that stops. But when you have champions, you are have some people in your organization who are responsible for the new updates and helping others as well. So I think that's fantastic to do because you have people in your organization who helping others there and sharing on it, so you don't have to do it all by yourself. So that's good. But well, I think it's well, we see a lot of things around adoption and Copilot, and I think a lot of people are training people in a way. This is the button that you can have and that you can choose, and this is how you can transcribe or summarize your meeting. But then it's I think it's way more than that. You need to have like a different kind of mindset starting here, and this is your outcome that you want. Um, and yeah, that's in my case like the next steps in real adoption. If people understand that their role is changing and not only using a button because they can use AI in something that they already did, but thinking about the outcome and the next steps and how you can even help your customers better or have better communication in your with your colleagues or growing as a person by yourself. I think that's the next step.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So I have on every podcast I have a quick fire out. So I ask some
Okay.
questions and you give a short answer. What is the biggest AI myth?
I want to say AI, 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 AI. Sometimes we see it everywhere, but because AI move, um, AI agents. I
Okay.
think that's not yeah
Um, Hybrid or remote?
hybrids.
Bitterballen or Frikandel?
Oh, both not. I love this. Yeah, sorry. Oh.
What's something people are surprised to learn about you?
Surprised a lot about me. Visibility, I think.
um, the most underrated Microsoft 365 feature.
Workflows.
When Microsoft comes to you and say, Femke, you get all the resources and money you need. What feature will you develop?
Um, better results in workflows in combination with the different kind of AI tools.
What's the best conference you ever been?
Ooh. Expertise bullets.
um, how do you protect for overwhelm with all the new AI informations?
Project, brings building agents to get informed.
One workplace habit to stop.
Um, work habits stop. Well, being all the time behind the laptop and a phone. We still need to do that. Yeah.
And which one to start?
Um, let my agent work and close my laptop.
Yeah, okay. Coffee or tea or energy during the develop an AI agent?
Coffee.
Uh, yeah, who inspires you professionally?
Oh, a lot of people, but I would say Fasu Jaco. The I don't know if you know her, but Fasu is was on the security side at Microsoft, and I really like it when you have a leadership, someone from leadership, who actually really takes the time, communication, helps you in a way that feels human. And I think a lot of people are really focusing on getting the results that I think that's needed, but staying human, staying really personal, that's what I admire. So I saw her on a few times, and of course we have some conversations as well. But I like it when people are really 100% the same and can do the well, being their self and actually can be the self in a role that they are still in a high position.
The best thing to be a part of the woman in tech?
Best thing, other women who are uplifting each other.
Yeah, cool. And what's the one lesson you learned from transformation?
Everyone has different opinion about what transformation is.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you for being here. Then my closing question is: if listeners remember only one message from today, what should it be?
Oh, one message from today. Start with leadership. Have the right people on board. Get your strategy. Make a policy around it. Governance around it. Let your people involve, and just and also just start and let people experiment.
Yeah. So yeah, then Femke, thank you so much for joining me on the MC65 podcast. Yeah, today's conversion was a great reminder that successful AI adoption isn't measured by how many licenses are assigned or how many prompts are written. It's measured by how people collaborate, make decisions, and create value together. Yeah, I think we explore why transformation start with culture, how Copilot and MC65 can become true business enablers, and why leadership trust and change management are just important as technology itself. So thank you for being here, and yeah, have a great day. Bye.
Bye bye.